doing some enhancement procedures using Restylane products to lift and shape and define the face. And we're going to use Restylane Lift today on this patient for a couple reasons. This filler has one of the highest capacities of actually holding tissue up. That's why it's called Lift. But the key is, if you look at my patient's face here, she has what I call the heavier mid-face. That's where this part starts to come down earlier on, and you see a little crease right here. You need a product that's going to be able to hold this up without looking like someone has a chipmunk cheek. That's the important thing. So we're going to give her some definition in her cheek that will help lift part of her cheek and folds. We're going to soften her folds and bring her chin forward, giving subtle change in the overall look of her face so she looks more sculpted and defined and doesn't look as much as if she has a little bit of laxity. So look up and turn to the left. The key here is to follow along the bone, and we're going to follow a part we call this the apple of the cheek. We go right into there. We just do a small bit. Now remember, with lift, a lot goes a long way. So you can do areas like the cheek, the chin, jawline, temple. When I was in my training, we had a product called Perlane, which was very similar. And outside the United States, they have a product called Macrolane, which is even more similar, but has a larger volume. Here we're doing very subtle amounts, because remember, I told you a small amount goes a long way. Look already at just the small amounts we're putting on the bone and what it's doing for the overall look. And I'll show you when we get to that full syringe what it's done, because you're going to be able to really see the enhancement. Smile again. Good. We're going to go right to that breaking point, and we're going to go down into the bone. Good. So at least on that one side, take a look at the one side versus the other. You can see a nice elevation in tissue, and look at the distance. Now you can't see this, but if you bend your chin down all the way, if you look from the top, look at this area and look at this area. This area is flat and fallen. This area is elevated. Can you see that? Come from up here above a little bit. But basically that small amount that we did at the apple of the cheek gave projection anteriorly to the mid-face. And that's why her under eye looks better on this side versus that side. We didn't even touch it. All right, turn this way now. Now some of her under eye pigmentation is actually pigment, which will improve with peels and skincare. But again, a little bit goes a long way. Okay, we're doing little pinches. You know this is working when you hear the little cracklies, because we're cracking right down onto the bone. You can see we're really getting a nice elevation here in the tissue. Look. And just half a syringe right there. And you can see it. Perfect. We're going to move our way forward here a little bit.
How long will this last her?
This will last about 6 to 12 months, probably more like 9 to 12. We're going to come a little bit more lateral.
Someone asked, do you ever take a break? Isn't it after hours?
Yes. But see, this is when the staff gets treatments. Whoever that is, they can gladly pay the rent. No, I'm kidding. We love you. We absolutely love you. We like what we do. And then lastly, we're going to go right to the apple of the cheek. And this side is a little heavier. Perfect. So now, hold right there. We're going to take a look at both sides. And we're going to work our way now to the chin. Let's take a look. So if you look at both sides, ooh, that's nice. Ooh, see that right away. See the lift? How look at that nice line. Now let's turn to the side. Show that jawline in relation to the cheekbone. See how elevated? Perfect. So now let's bring that chin forward to balance, because remember I showed you before, we need this line to connect all the way to here. So we're going to work our way onto the chin in a very subtle amount. Good. Okay, well, we got the look. There we go. We're staying in this midline area first. Now, unlike our other patient compared to this patient here, she had a wider chin. So we're going to go a little wider with our injections, just like we would do a chin implant. And then lastly, now that was all on bone, but we're going to do a little bit in the soft tissue here. 2 little struts in the marionette. Good. And we're going to work our way to the other side. So right there, good. We're going to go back to that midline. This is one of the most, I think, one of the most immediately gratifying procedures when you do the chin, because people see a dramatic difference right away. We're blending right now. And now we're going to go after this one, we'll go into the soft tissue, into that marionette. Now, we've done the anatomical improvement. Now we have to do the 3-dimensional improvement. And that's going to include a little bit onto the marionette area, lip corner. That's going to include what I call the lower cutaneous lip, which is this crease area. You're doing great. Okay. We're going to go to the other side, because now we'll call it the other way. So make sure it's fully even. There we go. Hold on, move here for me. Yeah. Hold on. Well, we're going to go to that lower cutaneous lip, chin crease, just a little, and marionette. Good. Now let's take a look at the overall structure. Oh yeah. Oh my, that's very good. That is very good. So the last component here is softening all around the mouth. Now that we've really built out the chin and lifted the cheek, we're going to soften the folds, and we're going to use Refine here. I want you guys to take a look here. If we take Refine and we actually rub it in, it's very, very fine. Look at this. It's like honey. Look, you see how it kind of comes up? See? Look there, right there. Did you get that? See that? Look. It holds on like the Terminator movie. You know, like when he falls apart and comes back together. So you see that? That means that when she smiles and laughs, her skin's going to do the same thing, and it's going to move with her. So this is a really great filler for those people that are a little thinner, for the people that just have fine folds, for the people that laugh and move a lot, exercise, etc. This is a great filler. We can really do nice work around the mouth area, especially in these areas that I was pointing out before, this cutaneous lip area. People are smiling and moving, there's a chin crease, etc. soft filler. And in the past, we were always talking about using the mid-face to lift the fold, which we did. But some people just naturally have folds, and we have to do what we gotta do. So here we're doing just a subtle bit. This is where I like to use a product like this to soften that area without it looking like anything's really done, to be honest. We're going to blend the base of her chin just a little more to give her a little bit more of a sort of angle here. Good. This is the other side. And then we will do the reveal. Sorry, guys, that's okay. Okay, look all the way up from me. Let's wipe you down. So this is the classic contouring that I feel females are looking for nowadays. Chin projection, cheek elevation, softening around the mouth, whether it's lip or folds. Okay, so let's show her this because this is a nice dramatic change. And take a look.
Wow. So good.
So what do you think?
I love it.
What were you looking to achieve?
Well, I'm going to be unfortunately 34 next month.
Ooh.
I'm having to use more and more filters on Instagram and
Oh,
Snapchat. So I kind of wanted to get that filtered look without always having to filter my
The
pictures.
key, that's good. The key here, I want you to look at the mirror
Mhm.
and then look a little this way. Look at the projection. Your lip is bigger, so we had to widen. This is very different than the female I just did. It had a much narrower chin. Here we had to widen. The other thing I noticed a lot was lack of support here around the marionette. If we pinched earlier, there would have been a big indent. Now I'm pinching and look, almost no indent because you have support here. You have a pillar of support in the chin area. So around the mouth and your folds now look supported. We call that a dimensional contouring, lifting and just shaping. That's why you need more syringes. And then look at the definition here.
Yeah.
This is what lift can do. Lift is great when giving a nice lateral contour of the cheek. So another successful case, let's take a look from far so she can show everybody without the mirror how it looks. And that's using our Galderma family products to really shape and contour the face, and in the meantime helping her under eye and overall tightening of her neckline jawline. Thanks guys.
Beautiful. Woo.